Good afternoon and a very warm welcome to World of Sport. And let me say straight away, it's a delight to be back. And after an enjoyable holiday, a real pleasure to be in this chair once again. Well, we have a packed international edition for you today with visits all over the world. We're off to Australia, to Tibet, to Ecuador, to Hawaii. And from America's city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, we have a cracking World Championship punch-off. We're at Ripon and Wolverhampton for racing, Ulster for rallying, and wrestling occupies its customary place in the show. Now, 8 sports are being covered today. At about 1 o'clock, it's World Championship boxing. Dwight Braxton, the WBC light heavyweight champion, has a rematch with the man from whom he took the title, Matthew Saad Mohammed.
Champion Braxton tearing in the whole time. Matthew Saad Mohammed just can't keep him off. This is a remarkable light heavyweight champion, and it really is one of the toughest fights I've seen. Murderous in its way.
We have the conclusion of the World Swimming and Diving Championships, superb performances, new world records, and perfection from the American diver Greg Louganis.
Defending champion, an inward 1.5 somersault pike. And that's what makes Greg Louganis absolutely unbeatable. That wasn't an excellent dive, it was a perfect dive.
The land beyond the Himalayas, Tibet, is where 3 adventurous young kayakers test their nerve and skill, shooting the treacherous rapids of the River Arun. At Hawaii, it's the powerful breakers thundering onto the beaches of Oahu that provide the top women surfers with a formidable proposition in their Masters Championship. And then we're in the waters off the Australian shoreline, where the big game fishermen are after the monster black marlin that lurk the deeps near the Great Barrier Reef.
It's a big one, that's a big fish.
Here he comes. He's got it.
All right. Put it on him. Put it on him.
Bill, get that other rod out of the way.
And I can tell you specimens of nearly 2,000 pounds are not uncommon in those waters. So it's a very busy and varied programme. Let me show you now our plan for the afternoon. In just a few moments, we have the Ulster Rally, then the completion of the World Swimming and Diving Championships at 12:35. Boxing and the WBC light heavyweight title fight at 1 o'clock. The Australian pools at 10 minutes past 1. The news from ITN at 1:15. The ITV6 from Ripon and Wolverhampton at 1:20. And then kayaking from Tibet at 2:55. At 3:15, we're at Hawaii for surfing, and then big game fishing off Australia at 3:20. At 3:40, it's athletics, and we shall be looking at Steve Ovett's recent race. That's on Wednesday at Via Reggio over 800 metres. At 3:45, we talk to 2 Speedway stars, the world champion Bruce Pennell on the safety in the sport, and then to the English rider Kenny Carter on his recovery after that terrible accident just about a week ago in Ipswich. At 3:50, we have the news roundup. At 4 o'clock, it's wrestling, and at 4:50, we have the results service. Well, now, cricket, and Pakistan declared first thing this morning at their overnight total of 428 for 8 in the second test at Lord's, and then quickly took a wicket. The score was only 16 when Chris Tavare played on to a delivery from Safraz. Derek Randall and Alan Lamb survived some hectic moments from the Pakistan paceman and then began to score freely, passing the 50 mark in 49 minutes. England are at the moment 64 for 1 wicket, with Randall on 26 and Alan Lamb 20 not out. Well, now it's time for the excitement and drama of rallying as we visit Northern Ireland for the Ulster Rally, which was held over some of the remotest countryside in the Mourne Mountains in County Armagh and County Antrim last weekend. I say drama and excitement. There was controversy too, as the rally organisers had decided to allow the use of pace notes for the first time in Ulster. That is to say that the crews themselves were allowed to compile detailed instructions of each of the special stage routes. Now, almost all rallies are run like this in Europe, but here in the UK, the majority of our top events are tackled by the drivers without prior knowledge of the road ahead. The pace note stipulation obviously required competitors to practice the route beforehand, but practice time was rigorously controlled and limited to just 3 days, with a total special stage distance of 220 miles. It was a tall order for contestants in the time available, but the organisers were not going to stand any nonsense from anyone caught on the route outside the official practice time.
The rally already has got off to a rather unfortunate start for you.
Local advantages, this is a fine reward for a perfect drive. And the Lord Mayor seems happy to share in his success. Yes, the Lord Mayor enjoying the spirit of the occasion, or perhaps I should say the wine of the occasion. Drivers getting useful tarmac experience before the Rothmans Open Championship, the Manx, which you can see with us in September. Now, next week I shall be handing over to Ian St John near the top of the show for the first edition of On the Ball and a special preview of the Charity Shield. We can join him now at his old stomping ground.
This is Anfield, the home of league champions Liverpool. And this is a now famous boot room where the Liverpool staff have plotted the club's success for so many years. Well, it's quiet now, but when they return from their Spanish tour, the planning will start again for the Charity Shield match against Spurs next Saturday. Well, next week On the Ball returns, and I'll be at Wembley with Jimmy Greaves to discuss how the game might go. Will Liverpool, the only team to beat Spurs at Wembley, repeat the League Cup success of last March? Or will Spurs, who've made going to Wembley a habit lately, come out winners as they did against Queen's Park Rangers in the FA Cup final? Well, it's ironic that Liverpool won both these trophies last season with wins against Tottenham. But you can be sure of one thing, Spurs will be out to redress the balance this time. Do join me and my guest, Jimmy Greaves, for a special Charity Shield On the Ball at 12:20 next Saturday in World of Sport.
I noticed Ian said our boot room there, so he has that strong affiliations too with Liverpool. It'll be good to have him back and also to welcome Jimmy Greaves to the World of Sport team. Well, let's take a break at this point and then we'll return with the top tips and then World Championship swimming and diving. See you in just a moment.
Old ones, new ones, red ones, blue ones, top cats, sambas, Beatles, bangers, coupes, pickups, hatchbacks, snatchbacks, credit plans, cash in hands, deluxe saloons and transit vans, shiny ones, tiny ones, long ones, shorty ones, steady ones, sporty ones, impressive ones and naughty ones, good as new, just have to do. We got the lot, you come and choose.
If you want a few roses for the house from time to time, you don't pull up the whole bush. You let it go on growing and take what it yields. That's how the new National Savings Income Bonds work. With £5,000 to plant, you get yourself a regular monthly income of £56.25 gross at the current rate of interest. And your capital stays totally secure, keeping the income going. National Savings Income Bonds. If you don't see the advertisement in your paper, ring 200 0200 and we'll send you details.
Easy. At the window. Leg it down your local for a pint of Ansell's bitter. That's better.
Here's one of those pelican crossings.
What?
It's all right. They're very much like ordinary traffic signals. Green, amber, red. We have to stop.
Oh, the amber's flashing. What's it mean?
Well, flashing amber means pedestrians have right of way, you see, and we must wait for them to cross.
Oh, well, they've crossed now. Can we drive on?
Yes. When the amber is flashing and the crossing is clear, we can go.
Now tell me again, what's the sequence of lights after the green for go?
Right. Steady amber,